Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today for Stamp School we're going to do a simple card using a silhouette style stamp. And a silhouette style stamp basically means that most of the image, rather than it being lines, like this is a line artwork stamp, you see outlines, it's all a solid image kind of, and you see the silhouette of the image when you're done. The stamps I'm using today are from our sponsor, artneco.com. You can find a huge assortment of Asian themed stamps as well as beautiful holiday, and they have a lot of fall images right now which are gorgeous. I'll put links in the video description so you can find them and show your support of Stamp School by shopping at our sponsors. By the way, they do have a coupon 10% off if you just mention the Frugal Crafter when you order, or free shipping if your order is over $50. You get to pick the discount that is greater, which is nice. And the 10% off is any size order. It doesn't have to be $50, just in case you're wondering. All right, we're going to use 2 colors of ink. We're going to use, you can do whatever colors you want. I'm using shades of green, so I have a dark green ink, and I'm using black. And for paper, what I have here is half a sheet of cardstock, half a sheet of, regular cardstock, so this will make a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card. I have a layering panel, which is just a little bit, this is probably about 4 by 5 1/4. And then I've got 2 equal pieces of cardstock, and this is a really handy tip. So if like you cut your matting layer wrong and you cut it the same size as your base layer, as your stamped layer, this will happen. This is what you do. You offset them and you get this really cool look. I did it on purpose, but if you do it wrong sometime, or you miscut your matting layer and it's too small, just offset it. It looks great. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp our main image, which will be the silhouette image. Now I want to go over this stamp. Now sometimes when you get a brand new stamp, it will have like oils from the manufacturing process, so I always wash my stamps before I work. Sometimes though, with a solid stamp like this, that's not enough to really make the ink adhere. So in that case, what I do is I just gently scuff it with an emery board, or you can use an eraser. But this is just going to give a little more tooth to your stamp. Now typically you don't have this problem with rubber, but I had been using some Castaway ink on this earlier, and it did seem like it was having a hard time for the ink to stick to it, so I decided I would show you that tip. And oftentimes with like the inexpensive clear stamps, like the kind you get at the craft store, that you'll need to do that. I found that a lot with like the Inkadoo stamps and other kind of the cheaper stamps, like the dollar stamps and stuff, but usually rubber's fine. But if you find that it's not, and washing doesn't make the ink adhere, then go ahead and try scuffing it. I'm using my archival ink pad, which is the black ink we've been using all along, and you can see that I have a really good layer of ink. It's shiny, everything's black. I am going to stamp that here on my main panel, and I'm using a rocking block. This is by Crafter's Companion because I'm working on a fairly uneven surface and I didn't mount my stamp. All I did was use a glue stick to stick it onto the block. And there I've got a really nice image. Now another fun thing to do with these stamps is to use an embossing ink and to heat emboss it like in black, and that would be a really pretty look too. So try what you have, and I think you'll get some really nice results. All right, now for this panel here, I actually want to do some tone-on-tone stamping, and this is a really fun technique. And I'm going to use this little ginkgo leaf, which is from one of the fall sets from artneco.com. I used the other leaves in the set on the triple time stamping a couple weeks ago. So if you like that that card, then I would try that set. You'd probably really enjoy it. So what I want to do is actually, I'm going to start by stamping in the middle. This is going to be covered, but it will give you an idea of how the stamps stamp. Okay, now I thought it might be kind of fun to add a little watercoloring to this. So sometimes if you catch it just right, I'm just using a water brush because it's easier, you can kind of go in and just drag that ink around. If it doesn't work, what you can do is press your stamp block onto your ink pad, and there you've got instant watercolor if you want to add a little color. Now this is a slightly coated cardstock, so it's not really taking my watercolor very well, so I guess I'm not going to do that for this card, but I just wanted to show you that additional technique that you can do if you want to. I'm just going to blot that off with a paper towel because, see, that's why I did it in the middle. I don't have to commit to anything, right? And I'm going to keep on stamping, but there's a technique for you if you're using a more porous cardstock. Maybe we'll do that on the outside of our well, you wouldn't really see it on our darker cards, so I guess I'll probably pass on that. So I'm basically just moving my stamp as I go just to make a nice border here, because that's really what we're going to see. And you know what? I probably ought to wipe the bottom of my block off before I press that onto the paper where I don't want it. You'd ideally use a different block when you're watercoloring. But that's just another thing. You can think about your stamp pads being like a mini watercolor palette, especially if like you're stamping on the go, you're at a friend's house or whatever, and you're not bringing all your supplies. That way you get a little more bang for your buck. This is such a pretty crisp design that, it doesn't really matter how you stamp it, it's going to look fantastic. That's what I love about the stamps from Art Deco. I've been using their stamps for years. Really fantastic quality, and the designs are really timeless. I've got stamps that I've had for 8 years that are still beautiful. I'm still using them. They're still relevant. They used to be called About Art Accents. So if you go to my blog and you want to see some more examples, search About Art Accents and you will see lots of examples. I'm ignoring those ones I stamped in the middle just to make sure I have enough on the edges there. Okay, so there we have our background. And then we're going to put down our first matting layer a little offset, and then we're going to put down our second one. Just like that. If you're happy with the placement, you can go ahead and glue everything down, and everything's going to go right onto our base layer. So staying in one color family is a really great way if you're confused about color or you just need to make a quick card, because then you've eliminated so many decisions. Look at this. I mean, I'm designing this as I'm filming, and it's only been 6.5 minutes. So, I mean, it's super quick. I also think that cardstock is the way to go if you're starting out, because cardstock is not going to go out of style. There's nothing worse than going a whole hog into a new hobby and buying all kinds of stuff and then realizing that, you bought more than you could use, and then the papers have gone out of style or the stamps have gone out of style. That's something that you don't have to worry about here if you're going with cardstock and if you're buying timeless designs of stamps. I'm going to put that right on there offset so it's got kind of like a little shadow effect. Very pretty. And I thought it'd be fun to put like some orange ribbon. So I said we were going monochrome. You could use green ribbon, but I just thought orange would be just kind of a fun spark of color. And what I want to do is use this little paper clip, and I want to put the ribbon going off either way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie the ribbon on one side here. In my mind, this is looking fantastic. I haven't actually tried it yet, so wish me luck, okay? I don't think I need a double knot for that. Then I'm actually going to make a little slit in the edge of that card there. I don't even have my knives out or anything. I'm totally improvising here. Put a little slit there. And I'm just going to make sure I have enough ribbon to go. I always save my scraps. They're really cute for putting like behind like if you punch out a shape, then you can take all those little short ribbon scraps you've hoarded and you can glue them behind a shape, like a little die cut shape. You know when you die cut like a heart or something and you use the heart where you have that leftover piece? It's so cute when you take that leftover piece and you like put a bunch of ribbon behind it, or baker's twine, or whatever you have, whatever your scraps are. It looks really cute. And I'm going to tie this on this side too. I have a little excess. I guess I probably should have popped it through the hole first. I'm trying to figure out how far I want it before I tie it down. But I like that little slit trick because then you don't have to worry about adhesive and it's not going to twist around on you. And you could probably even embellish the ribbon on the inside a little bit. Maybe add a little, tuck a little sticker behind it or something on the inside, make it cute. I'm not a big sticker user though. I have to be honest there. Let me just tie this here. And there we go. I'm actually going to use my ribbon scissors. I had my paper scissors there earlier. That was not cutting very well. And I am just going to snip this one, and look at that. I've got this side going down, that side going up. Maybe a little bit shorter. And that's all there is to that card. I think it's elegant and simple. You could use this as a, get well soon, as a thinking of you, as a happy birthday, whatever you want. Put your sentiment on the inside. It's a quick and easy one layer card. And, I use the scraps to decorate this card, but you could easily make mini cards with just a few supplies. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please check out our sponsor, Art Deco, at www.artdeco.com. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video and share it with your crafty friends. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.